Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Viewers. It's me, Suleiman Ben Sware, coming back on Open Gambia platform and to have this discussion. And if you bear me a minute, we share the video and we can start the program. Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Today is Sunday, the 18th of September 2022, and I'm coming back to discuss this explosive, brilliant report developed by Malagen newspaper and the editor Mustafa Swandi Dabo. And the the reason for this coming back is I reacted to their extract because they did the report and the Standard newspaper had an extract of what have prevailed with the $20, 20 pounds, $1,000 is surcharge for inbound and outbound passengers at the Yundum International Airport. With that controversy, when I saw the publication, I could not even wait to read the entire report. But from the extracts, it was enough to enrage me, for me to come out. On a day that I was even just finishing work, went to the gym and I had to come out to react. And it was good that I reacted for my sanity and to share my thoughts. Again, that wasn't enough. I knew the detailed report would have unveiled a lot. And yes, before yesterday or day before yesterday that we had the reports, many of us, not based on expertise or anything, but on common sense and understanding how things work, things do operate, came out and saw our opposition to the $20, 20 pounds or $1,000 is surcharge on inbound and outbound passengers for many reasons. That it's going to harm our tourism, but not only that, the lack of accountability, the lack of transparency in the system. We did make our observations, and the stakeholders did the same thing. They said it wasn't right, but it went on and it continued. Means that Gambians fail to hold the system accountable, fail to hold the president accountable. Why am I emphasizing on the president? Is the fraud is a fraud, is callous, is dangerous, have been engineered by the president. But we are going to go through the report together. And for a newspaper, we keep on, as Gambians, we keep on asking our journalists, asking our press houses to do their job and to inform us. But what do we do after we get the information if they do their job? We criticize them for not doing their job, but when they do their job, what do we do as Gambians? What benefit does that have on us? The impact it should have on us. This is the position. That's why I'm doing what I can to empower this information. The little I can. That's why I didn't even try to write about this information, because I cannot do it better than them. But what I can do is to add my voice for Gambians to see how serious this particular, I'm not going to touch on other issues today, But this particular case of corruption, this particular case of carelessness, disregard for Gambian sovereignty, yes, the Gambian sovereignty, and I'm going to explain that. Disregard of Gambian sovereignty. This is our existence. This is our viability as a nation that's been tampered with. Why did I say that? When Gambians wanted independence, it was doubted that we can be viable. Not because of we will fight among ourselves, not because of anything else, because of our size, because of the economy was based on agricultural substance, peanuts, groundnut farming for that matter. But one strength our founding fathers had was, and belief, and what they sold to us, or sold to the international community, was that the diverse people is our people. It's not the mineral resources we have or don't, but what we want to hold on to is the diversity we have as our strength to ask for independence, and that's what keep us viable. But on the economic front, they did make a point to the colonial masters for when they were negotiating. Because if you understand the history, political history of the Gambia, actually they did encourage, even the English did encourage us to integrate with Senegal. And Senegal wanted that integration badly. Because of what? We are kind of a wedge between them and the southern part of their territory, Casamance. And obviously having us integrated for them would be a complete son of having control. And Gambians who have an identity already of being a Gambian would technically lose that identity and be a secondary citizens, in the mix of things. Something of on the strategy for. And because of the British encourage and other international bodies encourage, and even Gambians leaders, some Gambian leaders wanted or preferred a lesser of an independence and more of an integration or a system that we evolved with Senegal. But we have interest group. We have politicians who said no. I think we should be able to take care of ourselves, and we should be a viable state. And this led us to have a sort of a consultation, negotiation with Senegal under the auspices of the United Nations. And Gambia was represented obviously with their counterpart Senegal and with the supervision of the United Nations. And when Gambia decided to take onto this route, what they said was this. What the opinion of the people that wanted independence said was this. They are going to go into this negotiation with an open mind to check if it will be viable to claim independence or would be better to have an integration or with Senegal. And in the process of this, they made a point to say that if event that they agreed or is agreed that they would integrate, they still want to maintain a Gambian identity until we evolved to be completely one nation. And in order to attain that, to maintain an identity, they understand the importance of the economy. They requested support from the colonial masters for three things. One, an airport that would open up the country for direct in and outbound travel. Two, they asked for support to upgrade and maintain our port facility, Gambia Ports facility. Not only the port facility, the third thing is to able to navigate the river Gambia, to have jetties along the river Gambia in order to bring in produce, the agricultural produce to the urban area and to re-export to the sub-region. This was what they had asked for. Then the importance of our aviation industry, or we call it the airport, the importance of our seaport. It's the foundations or the pillar of our economy. And the First Republic did develop an economy based on these two infrastructures. This is what brought us tourism. This is what brought us tourism. In a sense, the mass tourism or open up our tourism was because of we were able to maintain an airport. What gave us the the transit trade, where Gambia was known as a supermarket, the model of development, when Gambia thought about a free zone, when it was not thought about in Africa. I'm not talking about West Africa. In Africa, Gambia was the first to have a blueprint of turning our country to have an environment that a transit trade would be, based on a free port system, build our airports and our ports, Banjul port, would have opened up as a supermarket for Africa. This is what most people term, or it was termed as the Singapore of Africa. Another aspect of it was the service sector, be from telecoms to banking. And people that have followed the TRRC testimony of Madame Ami Bensouda have heard when she said that she was sent to train to prepare legislations for offshore banking, so that Gambia would have represented that haven to handle these transact services, banking services. And we knew from the strategy, the same strategy, that's what led the president then, Sadauda, to travel to France and negotiated with French to have the telecoms upgrade that we had first in Africa, after South Africa, which was technically termed then out of Africa due to the colonial or the apartheid regime there. Gambia became the first to upgrade their telecoms to that level. And at the back, that telecoms was going to be a backbone for our infrastructure of our development. Then in a nutshell again, to say that the importance, just to point out the importance of that airport as our sovereignty and the threat this government have posed. And Yahya Jammeh have posed due to his corruption, his neglect, his incompetency, and now to where we thought that this government would have salvage. But they have in fact inflicted the biggest sabotage on our economic infrastructure, which is the ports and the airport, which Senegal now is solely benefiting from our lack of productivity. Now, why I came out, as I said, to piggyback or to try to use a leverage from the work done by Mustafa Swani Dabo and his team, and from his Malagen paper for the brilliant this thing, it would be a shame. It would be a shame for all this information to come out and nothing would be result of solving it. They have done their bit. What should we do, Gambians? I am doing my bit to try to keep this information flowing, to try to get people to get it as much as possible they should, so that Gambians will organize themselves to demand the ratification of this and any other form of misrule or misdeeds that is happening in that country. But to keep it on this, I'll continue here. What we do as citizens, what we should ask ourselves, what are the other stakeholders going to do? As citizens, individual, we have a role to play. As citizens serving in institutions, be the National Assembly, be civil society, be any other stakeholder, be at the Ministry of Justice. I was expecting civil society to take a legal action. I was expecting the House of Parliament to hold on to this report to make sure something is done about it. not just to mention it. We have seen so many so-called investigations mentioned at this parliament and nothing comes out of it. Case in point, reference the case of Ahmad Ba with the eco-tourist corruption and the corruption of the tourism sector, nothing absolutely is all forgotten. This should not be for this case from this Malagen report. And every other stakeholder, what they should do. But again, I'll tell you that what the government will do, ignore. If we let off, they ignore. If we keep it on, they will come with the next strategy, is distract. They will try to distract us. They get something out. They will get their mercenaries, shameless citizens, to come out to make this issue about anything else which it shouldn't be. They will make it out of a tribe issue. They will make it out of a political party issue to distract us from looking at the content and the facts and to make sure something is done about it, because that's to distract us, because they know that we can easily be distracted. They ignore. If we let them, it will be gone, because we can easily move on. To distract us, because we can easily be distracted. That's their strategy. Or to come and mislead us, or misinform us, or try to mislead us, or to misinform us by what? Their press conferences again. Just as we witnessed with the Hadim catastrophe, by coming with the Banyan project, with bringing ministers, aimlessly sitting down, on something that was a complete lie and a cock-up bull crap, to listen to half-baked stories, to tell us that the Banyan project is on course, Banyan project was right, and whatever it is. They will try that. These are the three mechanisms they will try. But it's up to us, Gambians, what should happen. If you have a government, if you have a system, it will not work if you don't hold the system and government accountable. And that's what we should do, as citizens, as wherever, as we represent for institutions, wherever it is, being in the Gambia or outside the Gambia, we have a role to play. That's what we play now. Now, not wasting time, let me just get to the report itself. As I said, I'm just going to read it from as written. A story of how the office of the president appeared to have violated the law on tax, procurement and public finance in pursuit of a contract with Securitport, a U.S. company. The introduction of the $20 cash payment as security levy for every departing and arriving passenger at the Banjul International Airport has triggered not just a public outcry. Tourists would cancel trips because of it. There is also a possibility of financial loss of 274.9 million to the state. And it is just been 3 years, 11 more to go. Per the contract, if inflation go up, the fee follows. The office of the president have rejected advice from competent authorities. What is in it for them? Just that introduction was enough. But they went in and produced a detailed report. Now, from that introduction is addressed to the president. And for the conclusion of that introduction was for the president. Now we wonder why the country is as it is. Everything would stop at the president. And when it happened, we said it have already been structured. When the president appointed, introduced, in fact, in the structures of a permanent secretary for investment, when we have the trade ministry, when we have the investment authority, GAIPA, in place. Why undermine those authorities? Because he wants to open shop, because he wants to put open shop for things to come directly to him, then he control everything. In a nutshell, the greed of the president is what we are witnessing here. The blame cannot go higher than the president. The blame cannot go lower to the president, but the president and all the people involved, We realized that it cannot be done without the Minister of Finance and all the stakeholders within the industry. And the line ministry have rejected and will look at that as well. But it went on to say that with an American company, and Gambia, Africa, this is the sad thing. And Gambia, as we are talking, let's direct it to Gambia. We have people of non-entities, criminals. Yes, because they come from outside of our countries. They come outside our continent. They have a white skin or a pale skin or whatever you call it, or they belong to another race. We accept them as superiors. And they will come and milk us because of our greed. It's not because of we are stupid. Adama Barrow, own business, he would not have signed a contract of such nature. Adama Barrow would not have, the finance minister would not have supervised for such thing to be done on his own courtyard. He would have fought for that or against that. And he would have led him to resign or something else. But you don't hear them. They will comply because they don't care about the consequences of this to the nation. They went on and signed on. Go and look at the background of the people. What do they have in Superior? Did they invest anything? Nothing, absolutely. It's a website, it's a software that can be developed or used by, accessed in many aspects, but we did not. But why did the president, what is in for them, as the question says, because of the president was greedy, probably, I emphasize, $1 million. For these people to be taking almost $8 to $10 million away, personally, that they gave the company, but for the damage done to the economy to be millions of dollars, to the extent of our existence, our sovereign nation, our sovereignty be threatened. The outrage that should have happened by now in the Gambia. People to do whatever possible to make sure this is stopped. But no, the government is silenced now. They are watching. You see, they are going through the process of escalation. Okay, let's just keep quiet to see by Monday if Gambians will be distracted and forget about this report. Oh, okay, it went on. Okay, let's do something. Let's put something out there. Let's send one of the non-entities. Yes, non-entities, the Westers, unpatriotic Gambians who claim to be presidential advisors or represent the government to come out and give us a narrative, or this person, or this thing, or these people behind this, or whatever it is. They will try and get a boogeyman to blame on this. Or because of this tribe, or because of this party, or because of that. That's why they're doing this. Or because of they are jealous, or because of the people from the diaspora. If that does not sell, or now let's bring our cowards, our ignorant fools to thinking that they are educated from the position of vice president or whatever it is to come and face us. They have no shame. They are shameless people. They are ruthless people, and they call themselves Muslims and Christians, mainly Muslims for that matter. They come and face the public in order to lie on something that is killing of people. People dying at the RVH because of their callousness, their corruption. People dying at the back way, children dying at the back way, not even youths for that matter, for their callousness, their greed, for people dying for becoming victim of crime because of their callousness of misruling the country to ensure that crime, and they fortify their garrisons. It's no more a home. It become a garrison. They build big fences, they put wires, they put CCTV, they hire guards or use the PIU as mercenaries to protect them. That's what they would do. What do you do, Gambians? That's up to you. They don't have control over that. You should take control of that. Let's move on. The report went on. Mustafa Keidabo. Ibrahim Damfa was all clear to fly out, or so he thought, when stopped at the boot place en route, the terminal, and asked to pay $20 or its equivalent in dollars. He put up a protest questioning the legitimacy of the payment. He said, quote, "I told the guy collecting the money that I have never seen a robbery scheme of this nature," he told Malagen. This is what happens when we, mainly now, what we call tourists mainly is diaspora. If they were honest enough to take account of how many Gambians are traveling in the sense of returning back for family visit, for investment purposes, for holidays, for any other reasons, is far outnumbering tourism, what we targeted as tourism. But do they have anything to encourage this, to facilitate this, to make sure they leverage the Gambian diaspora? No. In fact, it's hate. It's hate they have on us. That's why us diaspora should think twice again and re-strategize to make sure we hold these people accountable. If not, there's nothing we invest in that country that will be beneficial to our people, or to us, because of that country will be in ruts, and we will lose our sovereignty soon if we are not careful. This is what the gentleman faces, but that's him and many other people. And do you know what does the tourists do? Just choose another destination. It's embarrassing to even be confronted in your own country in this manner. But that's the slave mentality. This country is not only bankrupt with leaders, we are morally bankrupt as it is now. And if we do not challenge this, we are inclusively accepting the status quo, then we are rotting as people, which I refuse to believe. That's why I will show my outrage, and other Gambians show their outrage to show that they disagree with this moral bankruptcy. This is morally repugnant to be seen in our country. It continued to say, but Damfa could not have been surprised as human resource officer at the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority. He knew the levy exists. Truth is, at this point, he was castrated because they don't have empathy. Empathy is what we lack. And you know, when society gets to a level that they completely lose their values, what happens? They drain the pool of empathy. That's why at the point of, we have people responsible, officers responsible, people hired and paid to be trained and everything responsible, to do the simplest of things, cannot do it because they don't have the moral things. And in fact, to do something, they will not have to do it right, or they don't know how to do it right. In the case of taking a dead body from the friendship hostel and openly hold the person and put it in a bag of a wagon when it's raining season and it's just been raining for everybody to see. No respect for the dead, because we lost, the society have lost that thing. They don't care. And do you know where that ends us? Go and find out the history of Liberia. Go and find out the history of Sierra Leone and other countries that have experiences. And Gambia, we think we are immune because we say our Salatu Fatihs, we think we are immune. It's a lie. They do have their Salatu Fatih in all those other countries. Let's move on. He was not alone, frustrated and angry, and was quite visible as travelers reluctantly queue up to pay the levy. The man sitting in the boat collecting money did not seem to bother. Commotion is not an unwelcome sight there, many said. You see, it's not even. Where will you go in an international airport? People are queuing to pay cash. If this was legal, if this was right, it would have been done without even being seen. It would have been part of the tickets, because everything legal, that this should be paid is on a ticket. Could have been paid, but we have that been boots after paying or looting millions to say that it's an upgrade. And what you have in that upgrade, within that upgrade, you see, structures alone don't make things work. What actually makes things work is the people, the mindset they have that will make the people work. You can operate from a container and with dignity, and people will be pleased to take you, to use your services. And with that effigy or so-called whatever it is, open hall, that they cost millions and they loot to buy their private properties in Dakar, their wives in Dakar, and other places and other things, because that's the fashion now. To know that a civil servant have make it, they have to go and marry wives somewhere else. That's how backward-minded they are. I have no problem of people choosing who they love. But when it becomes a systematic thing from civil servants, we all know that they can afford even to take care of one household and started to have continental relationships. We have to question that. It's not personal anymore. It becomes our business, because where they operate, where they work, we can see the rot in there. We can smell it, we can see it. And people are feeling it. That's what happened. Chaos in the airport. This is so many things have wrong. It's wrong with this. Who want to travel there? When you have people begging, officers begging, police officers begging, custom officers begging, NIA officers begging. That's how we know who they are. Where is the security? What's the point of that levy? What does that levy do for you? What do you call it? People pushing the trolleys, begging. People using trolleys to extortion. It's only in the Gambian airport, at the Gambia airport. People from the outside coming in begging. Where is the control? Where is the security? And this thing added to it, the chaos of it. Let's move on. He said, I went back and took money from my wife who was at the terminal entrance, and I gave it to them, he said. So, you know, the sad part of this is, I don't know who this Mr. Damfa is, but you'll be surprised that, how many people might have, he might have, I said, or someone else might have taken the money that the wife was meant to go and deal with medical bills, school bills, or to basic, needs. But they rob it from them. To go to where? To gangsters in America. I call them gangsters, hustlers. Most of it, that's where it goes. The rest goes to Barrow and the people that facilitate it. We move on. He said the $20 security levy imposed since September 2019 is the result of a contract signed by the government and Security, a US-based company. It is provided security for civil aviation and immigration and introduced an e-visa system. This is what they claim to do. This is who they are, a company called Security. And go and check the profile of Security, which they have done. You see, this report is just comprehensive. This report is just comprehensive. The parliament don't have to do much. A civil society doesn't have to do much. A citizen doesn't have to do much about the information. It's just to take this information and leverage this information to make sure something happens. But people say, but yeah, you keep on saying these things, nothing happened. Gambians, I'll tell you, something will happen, which I don't want to happen. I am young enough, but I witnessed 81. And you'll be surprised that, yes, because of probably my background, I went and studied to understand what led us to 81. Yeah, there are external factors, but there were internal factors. No, if you don't have domestic the environment domestically is not conducive for something, it doesn't hold on. And what stopped it? Because of other mechanisms that were present. What led us to 1981, 1994, I was fully aware. Because that led me, seeing what was happening, led me to resign from the army, to protest, to leave the army. To try to trigger even a court martial so that I can come out and so that people can see and know and avert what was likely to happen. But no, because I didn't want to be part of that. Because if I was there, I don't know where to position myself, because there was no government to protect. I'll tell you that. We know what was going on. There was no government to protect. Because they did not listen. And they were fighting among themselves. Why would I risk my life for those people? Because it was not about Gambia. It was about individuals who want to entrench themselves and entrench their families forever. and create institutions like the army where people, mainly 99% from poor, I don't want to use even the word poor, from a part of society, that this is the best they can be in society. Not that their ability, no, because their social backgrounds, they don't have the investments to be the scientists they meant to be the aviation, these things they meant to be, accountants they meant to, all the things they meant to be. But okay, let's come and settle for the army. And you think those people will be happy and sit down and be trained to have the way and means to take over a government and sit down there and let you carry on? No, that's what happened. Let's move on. If we don't avert this, something's going to happen soon. And I'm telling you this, it's not that Ben Swala is thinking about it, not Ben Swala is planning it, but this is the facts. Go and look at every country it happened, and this time around will be worse because of what happened in Bissau, what happened in Liberia, what happened in Sierra Leone is likely to happen in the Gambia. Because of we have brought it to that level. We came out from a dictatorship, we haven't dealt with the aftermath of a dictatorship. But we make it worse by bringing tribal politics to entrench a government. And we brought in corruption to entrench a government. Money just passing like that. We have seen it all. And we expect things to sail, in calm waters. We must be dreaming. It went on to say, but there are issues. And it is not just the outcry from penniless travelers like Damfa or Western tourists who would cancel their trips because of it. The detail have left the government deeply divided, but with presidency pushing, the contract was awarded in a manner queried that have violated procurement and tax laws. It's not only about people who cannot afford it or feel really offended or robbed. It's not because about the tourists who have a choice, who have alternative destination. We don't have much that we offer anyway. Every other competitor is doing far more than we do. There's nothing we have developed in our sector. We back tourism. If you understand what we could have leveraged from bird watching, how much we have. Go and check the archives and history of the bird watching, and even if you come to West Africa, David Attenborough have traveled in the Gambia in his infant age, and there's a documentary covering Gambia on bird watching. You'll be surprised. Go and Google bird watching and just see what have we done. Nothing. But in fact, the little we have, all the wetlands that preserve the ecology and everything that support the bird life, thriving, it's been destroyed by this government. Ecotourism, where is the ecotourism? The few millions invested to have almost one in every district. What happened to that? Corrupt, it did not, it ended at the foundation stage from this government, and nothing came out of it. What have they done? Now they went on for the airport levy. They went for the airport levy, even to poor men kill it more. There's nothing absolutely. And they said that, we should not be termed as, sex tourist destination. If you sell poverty, or if what you manufacture is poverty, I'll tell you that is the product for sex tourism. It's cheap. People are desperate. They fly in. Be it homosexuals, be it pedophiles, be it perverts, and every form of exploitation will come in because of what? The economy. Because of what? The moral values have just disintegrated. Because of what? Because of poverty. That's what we produce. Poverty is what this government has produced. There's nothing they can come out to say that they've done well. Any statistic they show you is a lie. Just as what the president came out a few days ago to say in the House of Parliament, everything is a lie, it's written by liars, it's written on a line sheet, and the president came and spewed out that lie onto Gambians, and Gambians wanted to accept that lies. Everything he said. Because he will get away with it. He campaigned on a lie and we bought it. Because we have minority among us who should be informed, but no, they are the agents because of the lifestyle they want to maintain. the life they want to lead, they will buy this, or they take these lies and fabricated mechanisms they call tribalism, they call whatever it is, to divide us and to entrench someone and others. And the other Gambians who would be quiet, knowing the facts, and would not protest, would not do anything, would not do. And we don't ask everybody to come and say on something on social media or the media, or write something for social media, but there's a lot we do in our communities. That's what many things we can do to encourage and support. Many ways we have resources, different resources we have, up to the financial resources to support entities and things that should, to educate the people more. That's the most important thing, to avert what is likely to come to us. We move on. It says that the president, there are many stakeholders that did not want it, but the president pushed for it. Malagen investigation revealed that the security port deal have caused probably financial loss of 274.9 million to the state, and it had been just 3 years, 11 more years to go, as the contract have now been extended for 5 more years. I missed a point there. The other point that came before is when probed, the company did not come out clean on its contractual obligation. Security Port shut out the government on key decisions, including appointments and management of finances, while unable to account for millions of dollars. Why would a government, why would an idiot, I call the person an idiot, but I mean, if the security port guys are idiots, hustlers, what are we? And I'm saying we, don't say Barrow, because we accept it, and it's hurting our sovereignty. It's not only harming, at present, it's not even harming Barracuda or whoever is associated with Barrow. It's harming Gambia, the future of our country, our sovereignty. For that person to come and have the audacity to behave the way they behave. You see, I know it's an African problem. That's why we are poor. It's not that we lack resources, that's why we're poor, because we tolerate corruption. We tolerate bad leaders. Now, for this company, because we already established that everything happened because of the president, and more details is going to come in, was wanted. We understand, and the details were going to come, that the stakeholders, be the tourism stakeholders, be the line ministry, said, no, this is a bad idea. But it pushed. And this, now, the introduction, they're telling us the company will not even share the details of the contract. And you'll be surprised. You will be surprised that the contract will be written by the company. And the company will bring the contract, and Gambia government will not do anything with that contract but to sign it. Do you know why they sign it? Because of that $1 million, probably. I'm too generous actually saying that they double $1 million. You see, they invest. What the product is useless, is nothing. And we'll establish that as well. They invest in 2 gatekeepers. And apparently it's coming very clear that these people, they went to Sierra Leone, they were successful. The first lady from Sierra Leone was used to penetrate State House, through the investment authority, the permanent sector investment, to the president. And all the stakeholders were sidelined because they said no. But because of the company, again, will be established that they came to the Gambia before. They were not successful, or they could not have got to where they wanted. But these people, for not to tell us the details of a contract or to share with us, I tell you, you go to parliament today, they don't have the details. Go to justice, they don't have the details. Go to civil society organizations, they don't have the details. Go and consult the political parties, they don't have the details. Who have the details? The company itself. And they do as they wish. And now they're telling us the financial transaction even is steady, and we are losing. We are losing. Imagine $274.9 million. What impact would it do? I mean, if it is used properly. It's not sent it to the health ministry, because it's going to be what? Siphon again, out of the Gambia to Senegal, to America, to England, to other places. and the others will go to Manibito or Chetale and or their side chicks. Mainly they are men. I'm saying it because mainly people doing it are men. And they are marabouts. And that's how they're going to spend the money. But if any government if you can generate this much, 274 million, that could have gone to agriculture, the difference it would have made. That could have gone to education, the difference it would have made. Look at the crumbling schools, lack of material and everything else. We could have gone to the healthcare system. We could have gone other places. If you invest this amount of money in a productive sector, in agriculture, you know the yield it will bring probably double. If you invested in fisheries, if you invested in vocational training, if you invested in the healthcare, but where did it go? The bulk of the money now is with gangsters from America, who just come because of easy. This is the way you do. Can just throw $2 million among them. The president have the lion's share, or probably he did not even his scam that someone else have the lion's share. Probably the permanent secretary have something even more than him. He doesn't know. They are the gatekeepers, and the rest just take it. We have seen it in Senegal. A cocaine heroin trafficker, a convicted criminal, went and so-called signed a contract for their oil. What did he do? He did nothing absolutely, and end up having $10 billion out of the deal because of Macky Sall's brother got a contract and a job on that, and obviously the other things. And Senegal lose one person, 10 million. That was just one of the dividends, $10 million for selling the contract to companies that would have come in, that Senegal could have attracted to do a deal deliberately, but this Romanian guy, criminal, become the middleman. Let's move on. It went on to say, unpacking the security port deal. I like the word deal. It's a deal. The contract has been widely interpreted as a one-sided. One senior government officer described the deal as a cash cow for the company. One-sided. They draw the contract and we sign. It went on to say Security Port LLC was incorporated in the Gambia October 2018. Registered details indicated a Dr. Eric Sengura as the president and CEO of Security Port LLC, and Dennis Franco is corporate secretary for the company. I understand he's an Argentinian anyway. He's not even an American. Official record shows that the company made contact with the government back in 2016, barely 5 months before Adama Barrow was elected president. People who are following my narrative, and which I'm going to come to follow up by writing these articles, but I'm going to make podcast programs on this, on how the state were captured from Senegal. All these people, how they came. All of these people have been dealing with the dictator or try to deal with the dictator because of that's the government. They know the government to approach. These people make their products for government that are not serious, government that are incompetent, government that are corrupt. That's where they go and sell their thing. They know where they go. Official record shows that they came 2016. Details of how communication was restored is sketchy. They came 2016, obviously 5 months before Barrow became the president. Now, obviously, now that deal is gone now, they came back, and how they reconnected is sketchy. No transparency. Now, Malagen had gathered through that the company had submitted an unsolicited proposal to the government, to the office of the president in 2017. In 2017, these companies submitted unsolicited. They were not asked. There's nothing like Gambia government going out there, oh, we are inviting bidders to bid for this contract. No. They know where they're coming. They came to the Gambia government. Oh, actually, it's a continuity. Oh, our people are still in the same place. Oh, Mamburen guy is there. Alaji Sise is there. This guy is there. This guy. He have an office investment. You think once they hear the permanent secretary for investment at the president's office, they know what he meant. The gatekeeper, because it's unusual. It's wrong. The president have nothing to do with investment. and that's how they solicited, that's how they submitted this thing. Several official sources said the official of the company also paid a visit to President Adama Barrow the same year. You see, they go to the same. They are not telling us they're going to GAIPA. They did not tell us they're going to the Trade Ministry. They did not tell us they spoke to the the Tourism Ministry or anything. They went to the president. Now the president should be held accountable on this. It continued to say, evidence gathered suggests that at the heart of efforts to establish and operate the security port contract is Yankuba Sedi. He was the permanent secretary for investment at the president's office. You see, investment, president office Yankuba Sedi. The government claimed that the contract is necessary because of security threat in the sub-region, but detail of the specific security threat that could not be taken care of by the current aviation and immigration system in place are not clear. Let me tell you this. As I said, and this is based on my experience, my expertise. I have been trained in cargo, aviation security, covering from cargo, from consignor recognition to the last bit, to what happened to the aircraft and the aircraft surrounded whilst it's on the tarmac. From point A to Z to the tarmac, I've been trained on that. I have worked for companies here, and for my background as intelligence officer, I know how these threats do happen, how to understand them, and how to work them. And not going out there to point to certain things, I'll tell you there's nothing like security at the Gambia airport. If you do any assessment, it's a joke. It's like a marketplace. And people who have traveled widely or traveled even few countries, even in the sub-region, can tell you that what should happen here even doesn't happen in some internal airports that serve within the distance. If we understand the measures that to be taken, for to identify we call them consignors, the people, principals that work the distance. If a company service the aviation sector, that company have to meet certain stringent security in the United Kingdom, I'm saying, where it's taken seriously. These are programs being taught after learning, from the what happened in Scotland, the Lockerbie incidents, with what happened with the Panam incident, and what happened, a lot of other things been put into consideration to develop the training to tell you. That's why I say from cargo, from the cargo to where any aspect of it, there's nothing the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority have actually addressed. Anything is a ticking box and is a lie. You go through the airport, you know it's open like a market. Anything can happen there, or anything can go through there. Especially where the values are just non-existent, the professionalism non-existent. Dangle the money, you get away with anything. Your baggage we can't go through. Anything can go to you. Call that security. This is a lie, and that's the excuse they do, or because of security. But we'll see, in fact, if they needed this system, what could have been. The report have said that. That's why I said this report is extensive. It doesn't need to be done with anything. You know, to pick it up and the person to leverage it to what they should do. Parliament could have done it. Political parties could have done it. Civil society could have done it. Individual Gambians could do it. This is what I can do. I'm doing for now. And if I find any other way I can do, I'll continue to do that. It just continues to say the technical proposal, which is supposed to contain such information, if it exists, is being secretly guarded. Probably doesn't even exist. Even the auditor do not have access to it. A source at the audit office said. That is our National Audit Office did not have access to it. And you know, if people are not transparent, a government is not transparent, a system is not transparent, it's not only a recipe for disaster, no. There's a purpose for that lack of transparency. Because of when light is put on it, then they would uncover a lot. They would not want to do that. And if the National Audit Office cannot access the information necessary, then there's a big problem in there. And Malagen continued to cite this, to say the Gambia The Gambia is susceptible to dishing out contracts deal through unsolicited proposal. Those that are cooked and served from the presidency are not uncommon despite criticism. As I said, this is what we create an environment. The Banyan, they reference the Banyan Road project aside. Malagen had uncovered and exposed several such contracts, deals that not only flow rules of procurement and public finances, but also cost taxpayers millions of dollars. That's why I said, when people say, but journalists, yes, most press houses, in fact, not that they don't do their job, no, they are part of the problem because they go for the big, the highest bidder to do. We all see what happened in the elections. They don't have, they will give their, any civil society might want to do something progressive, but no, they are not interested. But they will get the insulters, they will the tribal, this thing, they will, the ignorance, the comics, and not even comically funny, but dangerously comics to be on our platform all the time. That's what they would do. And you think, oh, they just don't know what to do. They know what to do. Because that's what the government wants. The government don't want serious things to be discussed. The press houses don't allow those serious things to be discussed. They will bring the insulters. They will bring anything divisive they will do. Have big people come into this. That's what they do. They are part of the problem. But that doesn't say that we don't have the people there who are doing, advocating on the ground, or bringing out the information. But what do we do with that information? Malagen have been doing that. Every quarterly, whatever they produce is enough to hold the system accountable. From the COVID, let's go on, from the sexual exploitation of children. Let's go on. It's comprehensive reporting. What do we do with it? We have to stop the blame game and take responsibility. We have to be accountable ourselves in order to hold other people accountable. Malagen continued. The security profit deal would not disappoint. Malagen investigate uncovered that the contract was single source, in the contrary to public procurement rules. It was not subjected to competitive bidding, nor was the contract submitted to the public-private partnership department, the state agency responsible for vetting unsolicited proposal received by the government. They just went straight to the president and they hit the deal. And they agree on commissions or kickbacks, you call it, and the rest is history. And they went with it. That's all. Now, this is what Malagen is telling us, and with this is where the facts. They disregarded all these mechanisms. These mechanisms are put there for a reason. But just as the Banyan project, they avoided it. This one they avoided, and other things they avoided. And but what do we do with this information, with this knowledge, as Gambians? It continued to say, guys, I'll just be speeding up a bit because I am keeping the kids away from here and they meant to come and enjoy their weekend. The project came from State House. To be honest, sorry, I might have missed something. Yeah. Okay, this is the Malagen explained, said, this project came from State House. To be honest with you, all the discussions were held there, said Ablai Jammeh, the then head of Civil Aviation Authority. That's the major stakeholder. The person responsible of managing the aviation sector did not even get consulted, was not part of the decision making because he would be against it. They know what they were doing. They know what they're doing was wrong. But what motivated them to do it? They know that it's not for the interest of the nation. They will have to, come out and sing it out on from top of the mountains. But they're not. They keep it in secrecy. They deal with it. People to consult it, they did not. Or those they did consult said no, we should not. But they disregarded. You know why? Because they care nothing from the consequences. Consequences two forms here. What happened to Gambians? Our hospitals, our schools, our standard of living, malnourishment, sufferance, our rural communities, our urban communities, people living in destitute, so they don't care about that. They have no conscience. They have no empathy. They are criminals. And they call themselves Muslims and Christians, mainly Muslims. They don't care about that. You know, another consequences they don't care about? What happened to them? If you do something wrong, criminals, you know what stop criminals? That's why they are punished. Oh, if I do this, if I'm caught, this is what will. No, because they have created a precedent. That's what they think. But I'll tell you one thing. Because of the Janneh Commission, they in fact benefited from the Janneh Commission. They looted. You know what Nongo said, Dekawe? You steal something, keep it, and they come around and steal it from you. They Dekawe some. This is just some, and emphasize that they trace within the Gambia of Jammeh and properties or whatever. They recovered some of that, and they turn around, steal it for themselves. That's what they did. Now, nobody got punished. In fact, the principal actors just got elevated to come and act for them, to work for them. Mambure Jais, the guy at the port authority, was doing the same thing for them and others. The guy at Yankuba at GRA and others. That's why they're intact. They are intact. Anybody that takes them on, want to turn the system, you are out. Or they were after you. Just as they did to Mohammed Manjang of Social Security. They came out. You would have thought the biggest, and that's what happened when you are a disruptor. You destroying a mafia, a cartel. They will come after you, and the uproar. Even those getting crumbs become the face of it because of the crumbs they receive. No, the fight was with the cartel up there, and the cartel were that gatekeepers, that finance minister Mambure, that president Adama Barrow, who would benefit from it. Now he's got his cousin, first cousin, to be at Social Security. Do you think he put his cousin there because he's capable? No, because they are accessing things they could not have access under Mohammed Manjang, but now they can access it. You see how the game works. Now, there's consequences they are not scared of, because for them they are dumb. They are stupid, they are foolish, they are evil. That's why they don't see it. Human beings, Muslims, what even Christians, whatever, believer, your intentions, that's what defines you. Your intentions, that's what defines you. But for them, precedents have been created, and they will sit down there. But there must be a day of reckoning. And if an entire system is this bad, because we have all this time milestones to ratify this. We had the first term of our government to ratify this. We went on a scamming deal. We didn't ratify that. Not the human rights abuses, not the economic crimes. We are keeping it. And it's affecting, the impunity is affecting the behavior of people. You think that things that youths are doing, they're doing it because they want to be bad people, they want to go and kill, they want to be drug addicts. No, these are all consequences. These people don't care about. But it will come a day that the entire country will be in flames. This is what happened in cases of Liberia, Sierra Leone, and others. And do you know what? Those youths become the controllers. Those other criminals in the society would become the leaders. This is what happened. Where you see a 6-year-old, the size of an AK-47, velocity of 7.76 millimeters, carrying it, making grown-up men sweat, making grown-up men sit themselves or pee themselves. Because a 6-year-old is holding the AK-47. He has the power now. And who is the boss? And they call him a colonel. Who is a boss is a glorified criminal, being called the general. General butt naked, general one eye, general Jesus, general this, general this. They are all common criminals. And the youths will be used. And where do they go? They go to the suburbs, any good house. And the sad thing is, many people that have worked hard, you here in the diaspora, you there in the international community, you there in the Gambia, running your business or civil servant, working very hard to build your family, build your everything, would be a victim. Because they will know the difference They will know the difference. Any woman they access would be a victim. Those women did not do anything wrong. Most of them don't. But they will be victims. And Gambians become refugees to live in, the life of refugees in Africa. The better off would be in Europe, but those better off, even these were people that have everything in their countries, that have the peace and everything, and now started to do certain things in order to survive. But they don't think about that, because their greed is stopping them from seeing that. Adam Barrow thinks that he can just fly to Dakar and live in these properties that he acquired in Dakar. He will escape. That's what he think about. People that's why they all buying properties in Dakar. They all marrying wives in Dakar, thinking that that's an insurance. That's why they're sending their children to Europe, to other places to be educated, thinking that, then these people can take care of me. Allah has ways of doing things. And the only person that will escape is the righteous person. Only person that will escape, that person that have tried, I'm not saying perfect, tried to do things right. That's the person that have the intention to do right, not the person who construct and manipulate, dubiously do anything to society in order to live beyond their means. Let's move. He continues to say, Abdullah Jammeh said, I did not sign it. He did not sign it, he added. As a government agency, we cannot refuse to be part of the implementation of it. But we do not agree with it. I disagree. Mr. Jammeh, I disagree. If it is wrong, you disagree. Whatever consequence you commit, you have to take it. Get sacked from that job, get another job. You are a managing director for that matter. You end up being sacked anyway. He continued to say, in June 2018, President Adam Barrow issued an executive directive instructing the Department of Immigration to sign the contract, entering the deal. This is the president disregarding the observations of all the stakeholders, but write an executive directive. What interest does the president have? The president cannot tell us security because he's not in charge of the security. He doesn't know about the security. People in charge of the security telling him no. It is not a solution to our security. It is not this thing. Our security, if you have immigration officers that earn $4,000, $5,000, they don't even have something to eat. They are malnourished. You can see it in their eyes and everything. I'm not discriminating. This is it. And you think that those people can be security? Go and find out how the Mongols entered China. Go and find out how the Mongols entered China. Because we have to understand history to understand what security is. Let's move on. The president, sent an executive directive to force them to sign. Now, who committed a crime here? He's abusing his position for his what? Not for the state, not for the benefit of the state, for him. Now, we move on. For every $20 collected, security pocket $10. The government and the aviation authority take 5 each. This is until recently when the government announced that it will as well collect this civil aviation share. Now you see that, and the $10 government is having now. We don't know where it goes. Why would security port have $10? Let's argue that okay, it's supposed to be there. It's there. Why would what services do they give? If it is a software we need, why can't we go and buy the license for the software and operate it ourselves? What do they this thing? And you'll be surprised that it's not something we need, or if we need it, we could have it for free. Yes, it's in the report. It's in the report. I'll ask every Gambian who can read to take your time to read. Read this report. And if this doesn't change how you think about your behaviors towards the country, I'll tell you, you will not. Nothing else will change you. It is not clear how much is collected on annual basis. However, data access from the authority show that for 2021, the airport registered 102,031 arrivals and 98,442 for departure, a total of 200,473. Now, in 2020, the figure was much higher, a total of 477,000, almost 500,000. This means security port have generated potential revenue of at least 4 million for 2021 and 9.5 million for 2020. This figure could be little less, consider that children under 2 are not required to pay as per the contract. This is how much money they have raised. But how much of this money? 50% of it went straight to security port. And you'll be surprised what happened to the tax. Let's go on. The same thing as Guy Construction. The same thing. Banyu project. For me, the cash cow nature of this contract is particularly problematic. They will collect money endlessly, Jammeh said. This is Abla Jammeh, the former civil aviation managing director. They will collect endlessly. Come in, for 15 years. And do you know why it's 15 years? Because the contractor wants 15 years. The contractor wanted 10 years. Why would you sign a contract for 10 years, for God's sake? 10 years, what happens in 10 years? With how things move nowadays. 2 years, extended 1 year. Or negotiable to be extended 1 year or another 2. But 10 years, from 10 years for 15 years. They sign it because of what they dangled to them. What President Barrow has said, $500,000, $1 million, or whatever. That's what he's after. Not what happens to the people, what happens if things fall apart. No, that doesn't bother him. Let him just accumulate wealth. And the people that facilitate it, they are Gambians as well. What they care is to accumulate wealth. They have no regard for human values. Continue. How much security port put on the table is unclear. Per the contract, security port have sole discretion to determine the amount and nature of its investment. They have sole power to appoint managing director if the government failed to terminate the contract after 15 years, previously 10 years, it would be automatically renewed for another 10 years. Can you believe a contract like this? You think Barrow would sign anything that impact Barracuda like this, his family value in this property? No, he would not. But for Gambia, they would. Now, imagine this. They will be earning continuous for 15 years. And the reason this is 15 years, because it was 10 years, 1 year failure to implement. Because they were trying to take this and put it into the ticket, hide it into the ticket system. The organizations said no. Airport Levy said no. We already charge airport tax at the Gambia. We charge from UK, we charge from other countries. We cannot add another levy. It's not right. For 1 year they tried ways of it, they could not do it. Now because of that, Gambia have to incur a cost. That's how this. Why would what you are the client, you the government are the client. You have the power. You should have power to negotiate. They're coming to sell you something. They should try and get you to buy it. Not to make things so difficult to say, okay, I have the powers to do this, I have the powers to do this. What powers does the government have? Because of what? Because of the government does not exist in that sense. What exists is Adama Barrow and what he wants. What powers? All these things are determined who's the managing director, are determined, and you don't dare, you should not know about this or that or that. I tell you, get the hell out of my house. Because other people are waiting. If it was a service that we need, they dare not come to you. If someone walks into your house and treat you that way, it's because of you entertain that. It's environment that you created. That's the fact. And this is not Adama Barrow they disrespected. Adama Barrow disrespected Gambians. And Gambians are disrespecting themselves for keeping these things to go on. And you can sit in your house, wherever it is in the Gambia, in the diaspora, or wherever you are, on your high horse of being an educated person or a righteous person or whatever it is. But we are part of the problem if we don't fix the problem. If Adam Barrow have the audacity to behave this way, it's us that allows it. We put him there, regardless whether he stole the elections or not, then we accept that election to be stolen. We should take accountability. We should take responsibility and stop the blame game. Do something about it. It continued to say, the deal or the door. The Security Port deal is controversial, leaving the government deeper divided. At least two ministers, Justice Ababakar Tambedu and Tourism Minister Hamad Ba, had advised against the contract, according to multiple sources in the government. Yes? According to multiple sources in the government. Now, why did the government went against the Justice Ministry? This is your lawyer advice. Why did Barrow, not the government, why did Barrow go against Ahmad Ba? You all know I'm a critic of Ahmad Ba, but Ahmad Ba have even seen sense. And I tell you, Ahmad Ba would do his things, but he insulates himself in other things. It doesn't make him a good person, but in this one, he insulated himself. Now, you went against the Justice Minister who should advise, who should go through the contract and advise you to track on the contract, because he should be doing that. That's his mandate, and he should be representing you. But they go against it, and the Minister of Justice, again, is a problem. If the President knows that you would not, this is a serious matter. You have to resign on those bases. But no, they don't care. They just keep their job and resign when they think they have a lucrative job to go through. If not, they stay there until they get sacked. You went against the person you selected to be in charge of that sector, to be the minister for that sector, to have the technocrats and everything, so budget and everything, the mandate, the government orders and everything to run that decision. You disregard that opinion, not opinion, that representation. You disregard it for what? Because of your benefit. It went on. It went on to say, when the presidency sought legal advice from the Minister of Justice, the advice was clear. This was just a bad deal, but it was this was not just a bad deal, but it was also not necessary. Not only a bad deal, it's not necessary. Why did you go ahead with it? And now, the report has explained why it's not necessary. I'll take it from the report. But it was not only a bad deal, that's enough. But it's not actually necessary. We should not get ourselves into this. That's what the ministers have said. We were surprised when we heard the contract was being implemented because of our office had advice against it. A senior justice minister officer told Malagen. Then they went, who looked to the legal distance of the contract? They just signed the contract without looking at it. A deal. It's not even a contract. This is a one-sided. And if the civil society are serious, I think they can go for this contract and will be annulled because it's not a contract. If it didn't go through the right procedures, on those bases, the state, the sovereign citizens can demand it null and void through the proper mechanisms. The parliament can do the same thing. Now it's up to us to do it. It continues to say, we were concerned about the process of getting the contract. Another senior officers from the Justice Minister said. He added that the government has an existing exclusive contract with Simlex that contains several similar to this service being offered by Security Port for free. There is already a contract signed, exclusive contract signed government with Simlex. And what this company said they are providing could be implemented from the package that Simlex have put forward to government and government have paid for. It's a matter of asking Simlex that, okay, this component that we bought and you have never implemented, we want it implemented at the airport. Voila. If the government said it was for security, oh, that's why we need it. No, we already have it with Simlex. We paid for Simlex contract, or we are paying the Simlex contract. We undertaking this contract. Simlex have an exclusive to give this contract. Now, why are we paying another cost and causing all this disruption, causing the damage to our economy, losing money, our industry, and posing a risk to our sovereignty? Why? The president should be taken to the House of Parliament. Let him sit down and grill. Or bring his mouthpiece, the vice president, because that's what they appointed him for, because he can represent the president and articulate issues. That's what they said. Let him go. It continues to say, we interpreted the meaning of the border within the context of the services and Simlex contract and concluded that it included the airport, and Simlex agreed with our interpretation of the source explained. The word border means the airport. The airport represents a border because people are coming through the airspace to enter the Gambia, and the airport is there to control their entry point. Their entry point. Now, if that is the case, it's a border. And now, this is what the Ministry of Justice said. And what Simlex have agreed. Yes, it's part of it. It's part of it, it's a border. What did the government say? So, both parties to the Simlex contract agree that this service should be provided at no extra cost to the government. So, one Yankuba Sedi decided to be a lawyer and gave his own interpretation of the meaning of border. This Yankuba Sedi is the permanent secretary was the permanent secretary for investment at the time of this. It's through him that they went through to the president and they did this deal. He was the gatekeeper for the president. Yes, he is not a lawyer. He is not the technical person to interpret that document. It's the Minister of Justice to interpret. They did the interpretation. The contractor accepted, and that we can give this service to no cost to government. Why is he adamant that no, it's not? It's a different thing, because he is going to be paid a kickback. He is going to pay a kickback, just as the president. And yes, we remember this is the same Mr. Sedi who was appointed ambassador at, in Moscow, and he did that thing, and it was exposed. And guess what? He was recalled, and now he's appointed now at the permanent secretary of information. Yeah, he'll be appointed again because he's a cabal. He's part of the system. It's part of the system. It continued to say, so both parties it's continuing to say, not just the Simlex contract was a hindrance. Those opposed to it also pointed out that the time the Gambia authorities were working on a security port contract, the immigration department, with the support from Japan through the International Organization for Migration, had already started a similar program at the country land borders. With government investment, we could have handled security upgrades at the airport, a source at the immigration toll Malagen. Another input we have, representations here, is that actually not only about the Simlex one, but at the time that they're talking about this contract, we already have a system that was being implemented at the borders, land borders. Now, with government investment, we can have this integrated into the system at the airports. Probably they will be talking together. Probably now, whatever they're doing at the airport is not talking to the border. But they are not interested in something that saves the taxpayer, something that is productive. There is not what they are interested in. It's because they to accumulate wealth, so that they can marry more wives, so that they can buy more houses, so that they can drive big cars, so that they can secure a job, so that they can send their kids to to universities, whether Ivy League, whatever it is. They can take their families to hospitals that are in private schools. That's what they do, and let the rest of the country rot. But it's up to the rest of the country to accept this. That's why we're having this conversation. It's for you to accept it. It's for them to dish it out. It's for you to accept it. Let's move on. The migration information and data analysis system (MIDAS) established at 4 land borders provided immigration with the capacity to flag persons of interest. Again, you see this. It's telling you that it's actually been done at the border. Why are you paying for the airport? This Mustafa Dabo is saying that Suleiman Sierra Leone just reintroduced the levy of $25 as of last week. Mohammed, are you saying that when they scrap it, did they reintroduce it? I know they scrapped it 3 weeks ago. Are you saying that did they reintroduce it? If you are saying, if that's what you mean, can you clarify? You know what that means? Because of they could not return the kickbacks. They could not return the kickbacks, and the contract would have to listen. You see, the people that took part in this crime cannot remedy this crime. It's the citizens that can remedy this crime, the stakeholders can remedy this crime. Parliament can make sure that they prove in a court of law that this contract, the contractor did something wrong to engage officers to do something wrong. And if those wrongs are proven in a court of law, that contract should not be. I am not legal, but I can be assured, and someone would comment if they know the legal premise to this. I've seen many ways contracts have been given, how you get out of a contract clause, and this one way could do it. A civil society organization could take government to court, and the security port company to court, and you know, and to prove these things and make sure they get it. This report can help them to do that. But whether they do it or not, it's up to Gambians to do that. But these people not do it. If you respond, I'll have to read that. And the database is also connected to the Interpol 24/7, a global police communication system that connects law enforcement officers in all member countries. In fact, it seems as this is the most integrated, the most effective way of enforcing the system. But no, they disregard that because that's not paying them kickbacks. That's not paying them kickbacks. It continues to say, it is just a computer system. You could have it as part of immigration tools. Equip every border post with it. When I said this my last program, I said this is just like a software. I did not know, but what I was thinking of, I think this is just a software. And I said, I assume it was a software. And now it's telling us it's just a software. Now, why do you pay this money for it? Why not buy the license of the software and operate it if you want? But no, these people have to come on, operate it. How complex would it be? They have to determine this. They have to collect the tax. They have to collect the tax. This is just shameless. This is just shameless. Let's continue. Even the police station should have it. It is something that could be taken care of without putting an additional burden on travelers. Buying a system and installing it with your immigration. It should not be a burden to us. It should not cost us. We can take care of this. We don't need the system then. Why did the president go for it? Because of the kickback. Why did people supported the president went for it? Because of the kickback they're going to get from it. Would the Gambians settle for this? That's for us. This guy said, yes, Suleiman Benswar, they have reintroduced it. I would say they are corrupt. And you know, they said it was the wife of the First Lady for Freetown that reintroduced this company. The company came 2016, but 2017 when they came back, or 2018, it was introduced by the wife of the Freetown. Through that mechanism, they came to the country. Thank you. They continue to say, with pressure from the presidency, obsessed with the contract, it is either you embrace the deal or at least pretend, or you are shown the exit door. You know, if you tell people that, oh, you should see the exit door, they will see it as, yeah, you're sitting on your comfort zone, do this one. But fine, that's your position, but that's my position, that I will have seen the exit door. Not only seen the exit door, I've agitated. That's why in 1992, I decided to challenge. I challenged because I was meant to be punished. They tried to punish me, but they know that if they have to punish me, they will give me a voice. They just discharge me from the army, because I know I'm not going to settle that. I'm not going to wait in for problems to happen. I don't want to be part of that. You have a choice. But again, to say that it's the president's pressure. Why do you think the president was obsessed with it? You think because the president care about security? No. The president care about the $1 million he has. Why do you think he's so much rich? Because of these kickbacks. Because of the kickbacks. Why do you think all those non-entities, cowards, clowns are running around him, supporting him? Because of this bribery and corruption. It's not because of he is a good person. It's not that he's doing anything good for the country. They're lying. It's for their personal interest, not for the national interest. It continued to say, Damfa, a young public servant, knows this more than any other. His employee, the National Civil Aviation Authority, fired him for publicly criticizing the levy, prematurely ending what looks like a promising career in public service. Someone did that. Damfa got fired because he stood against it. Now, if the managing director and others have stood against this, would not have happened. And if Gambians do stand against things would have stopped. But we encourage it because we just want to look after ourselves. And end of the day, it's not sustainable, because every hell will break loose. Hell will break loose, and we all will suffer, regardless of where you are. That's why we should do anything we can in order to stop the injustice that's going in the country. The report continued. The initial plan was to charge the $20 on the ticket, but the move was rejected by the International Air Transport Association, ITA. There is already a security fee in the $37 Gambia Civil Aviation Authority levied in any ticket. Ablai Jammeh said, they were also concerned charging the $20 will make the ticket price more competitive in Senegal. You see, this is what they created. Now, by forcing this, they try to put it in the ticket. They said, no, it cannot be, because there's already a security charge here. Why? We cannot accept this. Now, that delayed them for them to introduce it. But Abadjam is saying that this is making tickets cheaper to travel to Senegal. And you know, as I said, introduce this program, that what this is doing is threatening our existence, our viability, our economy. And our economy determines our viability. And our economy is part of our national security. What causes unrest more than anything is corruption. Complacency, corruption causes it, because of the services not delivered and other things, because of these corruptions and others. But Senegal will benefit from it again, and we are going to do a special program on this. The government has communicated this frustration to Security Port, requesting an extension to figure out how to shadow the cost. The Security Port reacted by drafting an addendum to the contract, demanding an extension from 10 years to 15 years because of the delay to the comments of the contract. I cannot just believe that. I say it's a fact. But imagine this company having the audacity, because of government fear. They did not invest anything. They're lying. It's also software. Government took 1 year to implement. Because of that 1 year implement now, no, the contract of 10 years is going to change to 15 years, and government said yes. Because you know what these people do? Some of the things they buy underwears for this, some of these permanent secretary or officers, they buy them ties, they buy them shirts, they buy them suits, that's what I mean, and they buy stuff for their wives. You know, this is just remake of what happened in slavery. And some of this, and they give them money, take care of them with money, and they invite them to their countries and host them and stuff like that. That's how it happened. That's all day after. Now, this person wants something, yes, we'll no problem, we'll do it. What they give to the president will be there. They give them laptops, they give them phones, And some of these phones and laptops is just to help them to spy on them, to know, to able to build the contracts the way they want to build it. This is what they do. But these people have the audacity, so even said from 10 years to 15 years because of 1 year delay. What made 1 year, but you extend it for 5 years. But you extend it for 5 years. Let's continue. And it continues to say, for the same delay, the company submitted a bill of 4.5 million to the government. For the delay, the company invoiced the government for 4.5 million for 1 year not implementing it. Okay, give us 4.5 million because we have not implemented it. What craziness is this? What craziness is this? Just tells you the leverage this company have over government because of the corruption. Now, if any educated Gambian turn around to support this government, know what he is. He's not uneducated. He is a criminal. He's unpatriotic and he's a criminal. Any educated Gambian come out, and any educated Gambian should have access to this report, and they would have read this report. If they didn't have access to this report, it's because they don't care. They are unpatriotic. Yes, it's widely shared. They should have known about this. Widely shared. Ignorance is not an excuse here. You are educated, you can read and write, and turn around to support this government for everything they do, but just for this report should be enough. Let's move on. When Security Port told Malagen that the payment is in line with the contract and defended it as just. They will say that. It's in line with the contract. That's what they did. They voted and those people signed it on behalf of government. Parliament did not go through it. All the stakeholders went against it. They signed it. Given the government request for extension until September 2020 to start the fee collection, Security Port maintain the system training personnel and providing technical support without receiving a revenue until September 2020. It's a bullcrap. What training? Software, what training? It's just a bullcrap excuse. Continue to say, official documents seen by Malagen confirmed that the government had agreed to the company demand for contract extension and payment of the accrued areas without consulting the Minister of Justice. Yeah, they are just doing what they want. The president should resign on this if we are serious people. And all the people that play parts should be prosecuted if we are serious people. Now go and self-blame anybody else apart from the president and us as Gambians should take responsibility for this. Evidence gathered shows that the Minister of Finance has already disbursed 218 million paid in several installments from February 2021 to June 2022. The balance of 55 million is arranged to be paid in December 2022. This will complete the $4.5 million payment of accord areas. $4.5 million represented 247 million. That's just in 1 year. Fine. Gambia government paid that. They cannot refuse to pay because of they signed it. Who signed it? Adama Barrow and his criminal cartel. This is what we have. Go and turn around to say you support this government, and just tells you who you are. That's the purpose of information. We share it to educate the people and and people with conscience can do the right thing. People that don't have the conscience can be held accountable for not having any conscience. It continues to say, they, which is Ablai Jammeh, former managing director of Gambia Civil Aviation, they have got a double payment. Ablai Jammeh said they claimed there was a delay, but the initial agreement was contingent on putting the charges on a ticket. That would not be implemented, so there is no delay. Simple. And the Minister of Justice could have interpreted this, but they don't care. Ablai Jammeh has said something which is very right. Look, it was an implemented process. We all agreed. You agreed, I agreed that we put it on the ticket. Now we are going to do that, and in the long run, we could not do that. Now, why would I take the blame and be charged for this cost of all this? It's just a joke. But they would do it because they've been bribed. They are held at ransom. The auditor shared Jammeh's sentiments. This is the Auditor General. Described the payment as inappropriate. The auditor said there was a risk that the government has paid for what it had no obligation to pay. Now, even this amount can be challenged and take the borough to court for this. If the president cannot be taken to court and take the company to court to recover it as representing the sovereignty, there are many things we can do. And we have many lawyers and many civil society organizations, these things, and something we should do. But the information is here. Malagen have done the best. Undisputed, the best. It continues. But how much of investment have security port done here? Ask that to the company and they become economical with information citing confidentiality. Given the sensitivity of our services for the security reasons and due to the nature of the work provided to our clients, it would be best to speak to the specific state authorities in the Gambia, the company said. It's bullcrap. What confidentiality is for service? It doesn't. The criminal, the terrorist or whatever doesn't benefit from how much it costs for your services to be given. They don't rely on that. They rely on the technical nature of the job you do. If you do any job, it's just as I said, the economical with the truth. But again, let the Gambia government provide what they should provide if they have it even. They don't care about that. All they care was that they are getting their kickbacks. But is the rest of Gambia bothered about this? It's up to us. But this is a company that enjoyed tax exemption, granted duty waivers, and allocated 3 spaces at the Gambia at the Banjul International Airport for free. Well, now, why did this company have this lucrative contract? Now, they don't even pay tax on this. What is the cost of their service that they should be exempted from paying tax? As I said, proven that we don't even need this from them. We have it free from Simlex, or we have it free from the program supported by the Japanese. Even that one is better because it's linked with Interpol, and it's linked with other the other services. But instead they have even more. They have tax exemptions. Not only that, they have duty waivers, and they have 3 spaces. I don't know what those spaces are at the airport, office space or car or whatever space it is, but it's something that they would have paid for if they were not exempted to do so. Why? The tax exemption question. The bill exempted security port from all tax duties or contributions of any kind whatever, whether municipal, national or regional, that are assessed on the project or contract. They are completely exempted to pay nothing. They repatriate all their profit. All their money, everything is profit, because what they're selling you. What did they sell you? What service? Even expat quotas have been waived for them. They don't even pay the expat tax. Technically, are they paying income tax even? They're not paying income tax. I mean the personal income tax. Because the expatriate tax, even that they're not paying. And they are not employing Gambians. You see, the airport, if they what is legitimate contract and everything, so probably the expatriate tax would have forced them to employ Gambians. No. They don't employ Gambians. However, the auditors and national revenue authorities are not having the term of the contract as final. In their view, the company action constitutes tax evasion. Now again, 2 stakeholders, the Auditor General, Department Office, the Tax Revenue Office, saying that this is on tax evasion. But it's going on because of President Barrow gave it a go ahead. It's up to Gambians now to deal with that. It's clear here. Malagen had seen a December 2020 correspondence where the Gambia Revenue Authority requested the company to pay 1.1 million tax liability, this based on administrative tax alone. They didn't pay exemption. They said the tax exemption is not done in the right way. A senior officer at the JRA said, adding that a more comprehensive assessment could take the tax liability to up to 5 million per year, per annum. 5 million per annum. They're not paying it. And people are supporting the government to say that the drivers should not ask for reduction of the petrol, so that these people, what they're charging can make a little sense for them to have something to feed their family. But we have people coming out here, no, they say the drivers should not, drivers union should not do that. That's the point of ignorance of what is going on. Because you think the Gambia drivers union represented anything else, apart from the interest of the people, for that matter. The drivers union did not ask for their fares to be increased, but they cannot sustain buying fuel at that cost and sustain their life because of the cost of living. Now they are asking government to reduce the tax on fuel. The cost of fuel, it's not due to the price of world market. No. If it was due to price of world market, then other countries would be more expensive in the sub-region. No, Gambia is the most expensive in the sub-region. Even Mali, that imports fuel from us, buys fuel from us, is cheaper than us. How did that happen? That's why I said some cannot even choose to say that they did not know, because that's why we are sharing this information. These people have the tax exemption for almost 5 million a year. Now, for 15 years, how much is that going to be? Do your calculus. They continue to say, citing the income and value added tax 2012, he pointed out that the president can exempt any person from paying tax subject to the approval of National Assembly, which the president did not do. Then the tax is owned. Another point again, not only that we can go and challenge the money paid to them for the 1 year, but again we can go and challenge them for the tax not paid. You see, if we are serious as people, we can get these people in their nuts. Yes, I am using the word nuts. That's how outraged I am. In their nuts, to make sure they get out of our country and we get our country back and get our resources back from them. If we are serious people. Let's move on. In this case, security port tax exemption was not put before the National Assembly. Malagen have confirmed from source there. The Gambia Import and Export Promotion Agency, GIPA, have also confirmed that the U.S. company did not obtain a special investment certificate. No. President Barrow's signature was done enough. To security port, however, that is the government job to do, not theirs. They are right. They are looking after their interests. It's the government to look for our interests. But the government is not looking for our interests. The people acting for the government are looking for their interests, not for the people's interests. Now it's for the people to look after their interests. And you should know how to do that. It is clearly stated in the contract that it is the responsibility of the government to enact all the provisions required, including legislative actions, to ensure the validity and effectiveness of the reference tax and custom exemption security port said. If you buy this, that's what the contract said. They signed that contract, that's what they go by. That's why I said this contract should not be signed. Now it continued to irregularities in finance. Now, not all this going on. Now even the money that should be accounted is not accounted for. It went on to say, Malagen can confirm that the operations of Security Port have been a subject of investigation by the National Audit Office. Good. I tell you, Malagen and the Audit Office exemplar. In the contract, Security Port and government in the contract, Security Port and government have agreed to open a joint bank account for the funds collected. But in practice, only Security Port has been collecting and depositing the funds. Well, not all of it, apparently. Why even a joint account? I am a government. You are coming as a company to give me a service. I should take care of all that. All you after is I pay you what we agree. We can find mechanisms to determine that. But no. because of the people who sign it don't care. These people, we should have a joint account. No, now not even a joint account. Apparently, it just happened. These people are collecting and depositing, and actually, not everything has been deposited. You see, another point that when you put the legal argument at the courts, this is another point you put that the contract is broken. If the contract is broken in this manner, then that contract can be invalid, null and void, invalidated. And in one instance, the auditor have discovered under reporting of revenue of up to 12 million. Under reporting of revenue up to 12 million. In another instance, the company transferred up to 10.3 million before the revenue was shared. Now, I don't know finances apart from the money that comes to my account. So let me put it that. I'm not good at maths or accounting. But the money that comes to me, I know how to take care of. I'm a pull foot after all. But let's look at this. You know, in finances, if you have a money like this moving places, the company can withhold money that's supposed to be in the government. And if government have received that money in time, government could have invested it in an impact, government will have saved it and yield interest. But no, the company can benefit from it, from putting it in accounts to make to yield interest. And after some period, transfer the money without the interest in court or under that money. You see? But again, this is what is reported at Malagen. This suggests a deliberate attempt by the security report to suppress and divert cash collected to personal accounts, the auditor queried. Very clear, the auditor said. Not only about the interest, in fact, but in fact the money can be missing. As the government failed to monitor, and with the immigration staff sucked out of the equipment in the server room, security report hands were dipped in the cookie jar. We don't even monitor. They come and do what they want. They can collect any data, do anything they want with it. They control everything. This is what we have. A pressure came later. Ablai Jammeh of the Civil Aviation Authority told Malagen, I don't know if it came from the auditor, then we started a joint account. It's only after the pressure came out that they had a joint account. Analysis of the instance of financial malpractice by security report. A security report indicates that there is a potential financial loss of 55.1 million. This excludes the 4.5 million dollars. Okay, let me read it again because I left the currencies out. Analysis of the instance of financial malpractice by security report indicates that there is a potential financial loss of $55.1 million. This excludes the $4.5 million, which is approximately $247 million, of which $218 million have already been paid to security report. You see how much money is wasted from Gambians? And not only that money and damaging our tourism sector, benefiting our competitors. It continued to say, the travel and tourism industry seems to be particularly affected by the introduction of the security levy and had protested it. They have protested it. The Gambia is the only country in Africa that is charging arrival tax on passengers using its airport. Ablai Toure, seasonal economics and board chairman of Gambia Tourism Board, had told the Chronicle. This was something reported to the Chronicle. Leanne Salah, owner of Africa Adventure Tours and chairperson of the Travel and Tourism Associate Gambia, told Malagen that the timing of the security levy is not appropriate. We have been struggling for the past 2 years from effect of COVID-19, and this time security phase. It's not helping, she said. Another thing that we have been raised many times. 3 years later, this year, Nordic Leisure Travel Group announced that it was cancelling trips to the Gambia, citing high costs and increase of passenger tax at the airport. Now they cancel, mean that less tourists will be coming. It's all impacted, and Gambians are not benefiting from this. This is a criminal act the president should be arrested for. But we were distracted. and we'll be going on other issues and running to say we're running this, running this. This is where it should be. Just tells you how scholars this government is, or the president. He's going to do anything to benefit himself, but not the Gambian people. It continued to say. You see now with the Nordic tourist operator have now decided that they will not come, and the security fee is one of the reasons Leanne said. Nordic brings about 4 flights of good quality tourists, she added. Will there be accountability? Malagen have solicited comments from the office of the president. None of our emails have been responded to. No surprise. Yankuba Sedi, the key figure behind the contract, have also refused to comment on the issue. Yes, I blocked your number because I don't want to talk to you. I am under no obligation to talk to you, he said. We paid a visit at his office for the 4th and 5th time. He went on to talk about the issue for nearly 2 hours, defending the contract and his role in it, but said none of it should be quoted in the story. Why sit down and wait for him to spout that rubbish for 2 hours? But again, who is he? The arrogance, saying that he's not obliged. He's lying. He's the permanent secretary who claim he should be in court, in fact, to answer to this. But he gets away with it. The same person who disgraced our office in Moscow, brought back, now is back in government. That tells you a lot about Barrow and what he claimed to be a Muslim, what he claimed to be a good person, what he claimed to have values or anything. They have no values. Meanwhile, the National Audit Office have recommended through investigation into how the contract was awarded. The presidency agreed to do that and instituted a president task force in July to review the operations of Secure Port in light of the audit findings, but the task force have so far met only once, according to the source. We know what's happening here. How many presidential investigations have you had before? Fertilizer, anything else? Go, bring it up. About incidents in Faraba, anywhere else, bring it up. And the president, the Jabang president, bring it up. Nothing would come out of it. Because if it come out of it, we got in the details. The president should be out. And people around him should be in court. Nothing will come out of it. It depends on Gambians. The only accountability that will happen will be the Gambians holding them to account. But they will not do it. Meanwhile, the auditor have further recommended those behind the contract should be held accountable, right? And Barrow should be held accountable. On that though, the presidency promised to refer it to the cabinet for decision. You know, the cabinet to look after them, to country interest for decision, but it is not the same cabinet that said to have approved the contract. Conflict of interest. Gambians, this is what is happening, and I say thank you very much again to Mr. Mustafa Swandabo, Malagen, and what they have done, and this is the reason I am here to share the information for us, to have the information to act. But again, even if they review it, just as you guys have been sharing here, the people commenting here have shared that Sierra Leone, that have declined, that had said that they stopped this contract. They have a similar contract. They stopped it a few weeks ago. They have reintroduced it. Why did they reintroduce it? Because they have no legs to stand on. Because everything was done the same way as they did in the Gambia. It's kickbacks. And again, I will continue repeating this. It was the first lady, because I have good reasons to do that. It was the first lady of Sierra Leone that brought this company back to the Gambia after 2016. They failed to get this contract deal with Jammeh, probably due to time. Jammeh was out. She was the one that brought them in, and this Yankuba Shady, dealt with it, and obviously the Minister of Finance, accepted it, and they did the deal, and all of the stakeholders were locked out, even the Oversight Ministry. Thank you very much, guys. As I said, I had to come out. That's the little I can do for this report. We have to do something, and I said they have done their bit. We keep on asking for journalists to do their job. They have done their job. We commend them for doing that. But not only that, we should support them to make sure this report does not just gather dust. And how we can do that is for us citizens, individuals. We can do as I am doing now, and anything that I figure out I can do to support this, I will do that. And it's up to every citizen to do that. And another thing, as citizens that act or are mandated under, be it in parliament, be it in political parties, be in civil society, have a role to play in to make sure these things is dealt with the right way. The government will do what they do, but it's only us who can hold them accountable. One thing the government will not do is to do the right thing to be accountable. What they will do first is to ignore, as they're doing now, to see by the weekend it will die down. That's why I came out today. I have a lot of things to do. I took my space, family space out there for them to give me this. This is the little we can do. The government will try and ignore. If the ignore did not go, they will send their slaves, I call them. Yes, slaves. I have no respect for them. Those so-called advisors and everything, spokespeople, whatever you call them, will come out to spew rubbish. And that rubbish is about to distract us, to divide us. They will bring about tribe, they will bring about political party, they will bring about people's personal issues into it. They will send them the minor slaves in the different platforms to do the same thing, to come out on Facebook to do their rubbish. They have no shame. That's not enough. It did not kill it down. What do? They will send their so-called mouthpiece and everything to come again to give you another conference, another lie that will just entangle them more. But that thing would not work because of that's not the facts. We shall, the truth shall ever prevail. Now, what would happen is the consequences of this not being dealt with, nor hold them accountable. Gambia will pay for this. We are paying for this right now, but we pay more. Everything we're saying today, we are blaming the youth, blaming this, blaming this. This is the cause, the corruption. And if we think that our Salatul Fatiha, if we think our Hail Marys and everything else we do, our traditional prayers will do, salvage us, that's not true. Our behavior should salvage us. Accountability, the will that Allah gave us, God gave us, or whoever you pray, that will that we have, that should liberate us. Until we get up with that, and then our prayers, nothing would happen. Without the intentions, nothing, no prayers can salvage you. That's why we are a sorry nation that we are today. The impunity, and these people, consequences, they don't think about it. Because of the consequences they think about, they should think about, they have no conscience, they have no empathy in them to think about it. Oh, what does this do to our people? The poverty in our people, the suffering of our people, our lack of resources for our people, hospitals, institutions, schools, and everything. They don't think about that. And what does that mean in society? The drug addictions and everything, they don't think about that. Because they believe because of they have the dependence, they have everything, it's going to affect their families and life. It's going to affect them. They don't think about the consequences of when they get caught. They off record no, because they thought that they took care of that. They created precedents. From the Jannah Commission, they did what they did. From the TRRC, they did what they did. We can do what we want. Another government come, will hijack it, will control it. That's a lie. What they don't know or think about is what have happened to other countries. They don't have the wisdom to learn from other people's mistakes or our own mistakes. What brought us 1994? What brought us 1981? There are external factors, but without the environment, that conducive environment, those external factors would not have mattered. They would not have affected us. But what causes the issues in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, in Ivory Coast, go and look at it. If I think people are neglected, not inclusive of corruption, that's where it gets to. Especially when politicians go out there and spew out tribal differences and so on. Look at Guinea-Bissau and other countries. Then people think that they are safe among their own kind. Not safe as as a nation, as people. Inclusive. Our diversity should be our strength. But again, this threat, it means the threat of national security, if we want to take it seriously. Thank you very much, guys, and have I cannot say a pleasant word. We just hope we have a little bit of pleasant time. This is what people with consent cannot. As Gambians right now, we are restless. because we don't choose to be Gambians. We don't go and naturalize in Gambia. Gambia bred us, born us, bred us, give us this privilege today to be where we are. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.